I had, what is it? Milk tequila? Like leche tequila today. I was just like,
You're getting wasted?
Mom was like, you want a shot? I was like, fuck it, why not?
If my mom offered me a shot, I'd take it. So I get it.
We were drinking and playing VR. It was great.
I would not play VR while drinking. There's some things I won't even do.
We definitely secured those straps onto Mom.
God, that stresses me the fuck out. I'm just thinking of playing like Half-Life Alyx fucking while drunk. That would be stupid. I don't want to be in City 17 drunk.
We were playing Beat Saber.
That's worse. That's actually fucking...
She got 100...
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, you're still there. Oh, there you are.
Okay. That was a big spike.
I thought you just went silent instantly. All we saw is you were like, oh. We're like, oh, and it was just quiet. And then you came back and you're like,
now what?
like you did something wrong.
He's been dealing with this shit for like 2 or 3 days.
Oh my god. I had to put the PlayStation onto power saving mode just to download a game, so it would download overnight.
Well, and everything is having server issues across the board anyway right now because everyone's throttling download speeds. So it's hard to tell what's on your end. What's going on, guys? Welcome to March's episode of Plus Club, the show where we play the games offered on PlayStation Plus throughout the month, and at the end of the month, we talk about it. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
Quick reminders that our game of the month is still Wolcen. It's a game I picked. You can download that. You can play that anytime. But if you did it recently, you should come back tomorrow. We're going to talk about it, our experiences with it, maybe even grade it. Also, it's possible that Uncharted 4 and Dirt Rally 2.0 might be our games on PlayStation Plus next month. That was leaked. It might not be real. It may be real. Take it with a grain of salt. But if this is true, what do you guys think about those games? I saw some guy on Twitter go, but we already got Uncharted collection.
Now you have all of them.
I'm like, okay. This is a fantastic fourth game in that series that you didn't get in that collection. So what are you upset about?
The only part about that I'm even kind of upset about is my own fault, which is like playing the fourth one without playing the second or third one enough to know the story, you know. But other than that, yeah, it's a great get for people. And then, you know, I always appreciate when they throw in like a random like sports or racing game because they're not games I'm buying. So gives me an opportunity to try it. And I know Dirt is it's a pretty decent series if I'm not mistaken. So
here's my unbiased opinion. Appreciate Uncharted 4. It's fantastic if we get that. Dirt Rally 2.0 is a game I've almost bought many times. I'm sitting there going, how many racing games do I need? Is this one hard? Is it going to fucking, I'm going to start playing, go, that's too hard. I need to plug my fucking wheel in to play it. I don't want to do that. I'm too lazy. Situation. I have this situation more often than I think most people should probably be having this situation. Just like VR games. I'm like, do I want to set up my VR? Do I want to blah, blah. It's set up right now. I'm ready to go. But that's a game that I've almost bought many times. So I'm like, all right. I always love when there's a game that I didn't buy that I've been thinking about and they give it to me for free. Doesn't help my problem. I still got the game now. I got too many games to fucking play. But that one I'm welcoming because I've liked some of the prior Dirt games. I think Dirt Rally 2.0 got some pretty good reviews. I've heard some pretty good things about it. They're always difficult because Codemasters makes like sim racers typically. So I'm excited for those two. If they are real, we might find out like Tuesday. They're like, psych, here's some garbage. So, Chris, thoughts?
here's Drawn to Death 2.
That better not be a game. Jaffe. I see that guy bitch on Twitter all the time. And I'm like, motherfucker, you made Drawn to Death. You don't get to bitch about anything. Shut the fuck up.
April is going to be a busy month. So, while it's great that they're getting a lot of value out of if that is the Plus Club games, I would like to have a mouche bouche, a small little morsel, a little bite of games this coming month, please. Just
I would
so
maybe,
like,
mayhaps get a moosh boosh of games, please. Thank you.
please.
It's not like
I
there's a
don't
big
know.
game.
It's
coming
great
out on the 10th or
value wise,
anything.
but time wise, I'm too much backlog.
Yeah, we need some bite-sized games. They keep going. Here's a 60-hour game for you, and another 60-hour game for you. Here's a 40-hour game
So
for you.
if there's a good time to be giving out big games, now's the time.
Yeah, that's true. Not for me, because we're still at it. We're still working, which I'm not complaining. But
Yeah.
I would very much take advantage of these games if I wasn't. So you should
Yeah.
make sure to download those and play those. Anything else, Chris?
No.
Did you know, Chris, that we have a Discord and the link is down below, and you could talk to us anytime, all the time.
A Discord?
It's like a chat room, but you can upload
Just
things.
one though.
You mean I can talk to you guys and the viewers?
This is true. Yes, you could do that. And there's a bunch of categories too. So if you're like, you know what, I don't really like talking about weird random shit that these guys talk about all the time. I want to go talk about Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. We have a category just for you. Or Monster Hunter. Or Cyberpunk.
You start off with a real weird one.
First one that came to my mind for some reason. But what's coming to my mind next is there's a link down below. You can join that and talk to us anytime, all the time. We're also on iTunes, Spotify, or the podcast platforms. If you want to listen to us, you don't want to see us. You're just like, dude, I'm sick of your faces, but I love your voices. I want to listen to that shit. You can do that. And type in hashtag AskTLG on your comment if you want it to be featured on the show TastyCast. Otherwise, you just pick at random. But if you're like, I really want them to address my thoughts on this,
Notice me, senpai.
notice me, senpai, tasty senpai, type that in, do what I say, and a pretty good chance you'll be on the show. Unless it's like something fucking crazy, and I'm just going to scoot you under the rug. Bye. I'll probably still reply to you because I like weird shit. I'm like, yeah, you're fucking nuts. But
But you're gonna be under the rug together.
you're not coming on the show. Sorry. So just keep it. I'm pretty open-minded. What else? Did I cover everything? This has been an extended intro.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm lost at the moment.
Anyway, in March, we played a couple games,
Couple.
which were Sonic Forces and Shadow of the Colossus. I think we should probably talk about Sonic Forces first. So, yeah, if you didn't get a chance to play Sonic Forces is an attempt at a revival of the Sonic series by trying to attract new fans and old. And by new fans, I mean a specific subgenre of people that if you Google Sonic, you'll find some very interesting pictures. And then old fans, people old like us who grew up in the 90s playing Sonic. Little chubby Sonic, my favorite Sonic. He's a little round guy, and I love him to death. And he's in this. In this game, you make your own avatar. I made a bear boy with big fucking round eyes. You'll probably see him up here. He's looking dope as shit. And you make an avatar. You are trying to help Sonic. You're part of the forces. And you do levels, complete levels. You get new outfit customization options. And yeah, I mean it's kind of a mix of old school Sonic of the 2D perspective and the newer Dreamcast Sonics if the controls are really fucking janky in modern times. Because why are they like this? Did I cover everything correctly? It's a Sonic game. You guys don't fuck. If you're watching this channel, you're like, who's Sonic? I won't tell you to get, but I was about to. Get out of here. Go.
Go play a Sonic.
Shoot.
Preferably a Genesis.
Go Google Sonic and find out what I'm talking about.
Or don't.
Careful. Save search on.
Yeah. There's a whole category of people out there who just took that and they're like, this is ours now. Sega's like, okay, you can have that. We're not going over there. Yeah, so we all played this to different extents, I'm sure. This month has been weird for everybody. So I have not put as much time into this as I would have liked to. I started playing it early. I'm just going to go into my impressions because I'm talking about it. I started playing this early in the month. I have this strategy for the games for the channel that I feel obligated to play. I love doing it. I love trying all these new games or whatever, but Chevy's the exact opposite of me. He waits until the last day. He's like, I'm going to fucking
Hey.
put 8 hours into this right now. I'm like, damn. Whereas me...
I only did it with one game this time.
the first day of the month, as soon as I can get these fucking games, I'm like, I should just play them now. That way they're knocked out. If I like it, I got the whole month to play it. If I feel meh about it, I got it knocked out. I'll have my opinion. So I did that with this, and I started playing it, and I was like, oh, this game's got some potential. This is kind of interesting. Like I said before, you pretty much just go through levels and you unlock cosmetics. And there's things I really like about the game and things I don't like at all about the game, which is really confusing. Because like I said, I was playing it early on. I was like, there's potential here. I might actually really dig this. I might want to play it throughout the month. I didn't. But things I like. Graphically, I think it's really clean. I like the music. I think it's a cool kind of throwback to the older Sonics, but also the newer Sonics that has like really dorky electronic music. I like it. I like that it tries to tell a story, even though I think the story is really fucking stupid. Also, I'm not caught up on all the characters. I'm looking at all these other Sonics. It's like back on. I sound so old. I sound like the old guy. Like back in my day, fucking Mortal Kombat. You had like Sub-Zero. He's just the blue fucking ninja, and then they recolored him. That's Scorpion. That's the yellow ninja, and then later they're like, that's fucking Noob Saibot. That's Reptile. They're all different color ninjas. Same thing of this. I'm looking like a white Sonic. I'm sure any Sonic fan is like, that's fucking blah blah blah. I already forgot their name. I just played the game like 5 minutes ago. I'm like, okay, so that's the white Sonic. That's the other the black Sonic. That's
Shadow.
Silver, whatever. Oh, I know Shadow, but that's not what I'm getting at here. All the different color Sonics, and they're all equally as like dedicated looking and all fucking doing the same things. I'm like, what? There's no fucking characteristics to these characters. So I'm just behind on that. They're bringing them all in like, look, it's them, and I'm like, okay, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic number 5 over there. So yeah,
the bastard fifth child.
Pretty much, yeah. The story essentially is just like all these fucking villains from every Sonic ever have joined forces to fight your forces. I really wanted to make a video this month that I would have found funny and no one else would have, which is a problem of mine. That would just be footage of my bear boy doing his bear boy things to the song Forces by Hirasawa Susumu, from the guy who did the music for Berserk.
Okay.
There's a song called Forces, and it's really over the top and just intense. I love it, but like, it would have been so funny. But I would be laughing. Other people would be like, that's weird. That's my life story. I'm like, haha, this is ridiculous. And they're like, yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right, Seth. It is ridiculous. Why are you like this? Anyway, what was I talking about? Graphics are clean, music is good. I actually really like the level setup. It kind of reminds me of the Dreamcast Sonics. There's basic gameplay, which I'll get into, but then there's like every level's got these cool set pieces that I wasn't expecting. I was like, oh, they actually made this a spectacle. I kind of like the adventure of this. It's neat. Every level I didn't know what I was getting into. So when you go into a boss fight or you're surfing down a fucking snake or whatever, it's all neat. It's always fresh feeling, which is cool. I really like unlocking new cosmetics. There's actually a shitload, which is awesome. At first I'm like, it'll be like 5 shirts, 5 shoes. There's a shitload of stuff to put on your character. I don't like, as much as I like my bear boy, he's right there. I don't like playing them. I don't like the idea of playing these characters because like they don't play as well as Sonic. They also don't have his powers, which makes sense. They're not just fucking flying into shit, but they're doing the same thing with a grappling hook, and it looks stupid. I hate the way it just looks like you're just like running like a normal person, and you're like, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm not into it. It's a small gripe. I'm not going to dock it too much for that. I'm just like, I don't know, I'm not too into it. The weapons also I think is an interesting touch, but I'm not into it. Just running with a flamethrower or any of the other weapons that I've unlocked. I think I have like 4 of them. It just kind of breaks the flow of what Sonic is to me. Sonic's about momentum, cruising, dodging, hitting shit and killing stuff really fast. And in this, like, I'm like just this bear dude dressed real nice. I look good. I look real good. I'm just running around with a fucking flamethrower, and all these like Sonic robot enemies are like, hey, we're gonna stop you. I'm like, and I just like fry them all to death. And I'm like, what is this? Is this Doom? Am I ripping and tearing? Is this ripping and tearing? I think this is what they're talking about on Twitter. So anyway, yeah. Okay, so I like almost every single thing about this game. I think it's actually a really cool idea, and I think the potential is really good. Here's my problem. I don't like the gameplay. I think it's really... This game wasn't lazily made, in my opinion, except for the gameplay. It's like they forgot about that part. They're like, let's make this CGI storyline that's ridiculous. Okay, check. Let's make clean graphics. Check. Let's do all these cool visual spectacle things. Check. Let's make a bunch of stuff to unlock. Check. Gameplay. Well, he runs forward. What about jump? Yeah, throw a jump in there, I guess. Well, how streamlined should the movement be? Just add a lock on. It's fine. They just hit that, it'll hit the enemy. Sometimes they'll just hit the enemy and then fly off the fucking map. Who cares? Oh, you're running around a corner and then like gravity, the G's of fucking Sonic are so strong they go and just throw you off the map. Yeah, whatever. They'll just have to slow down. It's fine. It's like a racing game. It's like a racing game. Drift Sonic. I found myself oftentimes just like flying off the map or dying from no, like, okay, so when you play Dark Souls, you die and you're like, that was my fault. I need to get good. Sonic, I'm like, this game fucked me. and then 5 seconds later, it's like, and kills you again. It's like, are you fucking serious, dude? And then it goes, oh, lock onto that guy quick. And you go, and it's like, no one's locked onto. And you just go, just off the map. I'm like, all right. There's literally a part like 3 times in a row. There was like 1 dude, 2 dudes, 1 dude, and then the next part you got to go to. And I went boom, 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 and then when I killed the 3rd guy, Sonic would go and just go off left, past the thing, and I'm holding right to pull him over because if you're playing like a good platforming game that has good control in the air or some way to unlock control in the air, you'd be able to veer over there. He just took the momentum and went bye, peace. I'm like, man, that is just not. It's not satisfying. It just doesn't feel good. So, to go back to summarize everything, it's I like everything about it. I just when these things happen, I just find myself not enjoying the gameplay. I feel like it could be tighter.
Yeah,
Chris.
Well, playing this game, I kind of went in as like, oh, this is going to be a fun joke, but it definitely gave me vibes of Sonic Adventures.
This is going to be a fun joke.
Which I really enjoyed playing, but also kind of gave me the reminiscence of watching Sonic Underground as a kid, where it's like, Sonic is like this rebel group of people fighting Robotnik, who's basically kind of taken over.
Blue streak speeds by Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes. That's the one. I too was pleasantly surprised by how much customization there was, and you earn like 10 of it per level. Like,
dude, one time I leveled like twice. I was sitting there for like a good, like, I don't know, 3 hours just going through all of the shows. Like, damn, it's like I went online, ordered a bunch of clothes, and the box came in the mail. I'm just going through it. I'm like, I forgot I was even playing Sonic. I was like, you expect me to go through and try this on now in the dressing room?
Yep.
I did.
Yep. And it graphically, it is very well done. I really like it. It does feel like a next step towards Sonic Adventures, like visually, but gameplay wise, it feels like the old Dreamcast version of the game, where it's kind of janky and the controls are kind of weird sometimes with things, and like like Seth said, you just kind of go flying off in the distance, or like if you're like grappling around corners because your character can't control themselves, the grapple has so much G one way or the other. Like if you just tilt it a little, they won't move, but if you slam it all the way over, they just start edging over ever so much.
I really wish as my guy was just like lighting people on fire with a flamethrower, he was just screaming, I can't control myself. I'd be like, yeah, okay, this makes sense. This game got a lot more interesting. There's some layers to this game that I didn't think they're going to go there with.
The customization is, I think, and the nostalgia factor is the key features of this game. I was really disappointed that I couldn't pick and choose what characters I played on each level. I was locked into playing one type of character per level.
Except for you can play, who is it? I think it's
Shadow.
Shadow on every level.
It's a DLC. You can play Shadow on the Sonic levels.
Yeah, so fucking just add that with every other level. Like, with other characters. If they already went ahead and did it.
The hassle of building my own character if I only get to play them once every 4 levels?
Yeah, that's a stupid design. I agree. I do
I get
appreciate
it.
playing in the story the 2 different Sonics because they feel
Mm-hmm.
different. But I'm like, for all the fucking stuff I'm unlocking for my character and sitting there making them, I don't play them very often. Sometimes I forget they're even fucking in the game.
And if it's for storyline, I get that. Like, you want this character, Sonic, to go through this storyline, but at least let me replay the level as my character. Because you
Sure.
obviously have levels designed out where there's routes that are designed specifically for, like, either you're playing as Sonic or if you're playing as your character and the different weapon types because they all have different movement abilities. The thought went in there to allow the different routes for those different weapons to carry you through the level. Why not just implement that in everything?
Yeah, I agree.
I too was also confused by the weird characters that showed up that I have not any idea of.
Yeah. It's just frustrating because the game feels like it's almost there. It's almost like a good Sonic game. I'm like, you guys almost nailed it. You guys have been struggling with this, and you almost got it, but you just didn't nail it.
Yeah. And the characters that you can make, they all have like unique passives. The only one that seems like worthwhile, if you're really like trying to like, I guess min max, if that's even a thing in this game, would be the bird.
Yeah.
Because it's double jump. Everything else is just like get coins when you start a level, save your coins after you take damage, be invincible longer. Like, I don't give a shit about that. Give me the goddamn double jump.
Yeah, I almost picked the bird, but I was like, you know what? There's just some things I'm not going to fucking do in my life, and I'm not going to play as a bird.
Yeah,
That's not happening.
I played as the rabbit. I was like, fuck it, I want to be a rabbit.
I think
Yeah.
I also picked a rabbit.
I almost did, but I picked the bear boy because I'm like, there's no way a fucking bear is running through these levels. Have you seen a bear? They eat things while they're still alive. They're not running through fucking levels.
How come a fox wasn't an option?
That'd have been cool.
Or an echidna?
That'd have been cool. Yeah, they had a goddamn hedgehog.
You got hedgehogs, wolves, dogs, rabbits, bears.
I just can't believe
Birds.
anybody would pick the hedgehog because they look like dorky as fuck.
They all look fucking dorky.
No, but the hedgehog looked like second-rate Sonic, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the fucking get the dollar store fucking Sonic.
Me sunky.
Me sunk. Me sunk. Yeah. Anything else?
No.
Chevy.
I didn't.
I loved it.
I only played probably like 3-4 levels.
Oh shit.
I did the very beginning, obviously where you're Sonic, and then I got to make my character, which I've already said, was a rabbit, and then you get the spiel on what you're doing, and then you do, a couple more levels, and that's pretty much it for me. So I didn't realize you actually got to switch back and play main characters. I assumed the rest of the game I was going to be my character, so that's kind of interesting to
No.
hear.
Hell no. About 20% of the game you're playing as your character.
That's interesting.
I just played recently, and it was Chubby Sonic and New Sonic. Chubby Sonic, New Sonic, New Sonic, New Sonic, Chubby Sonic. My guy made an appearance, and then I went back to playing Sonic.
Or the Sonic and your character levels.
Yeah, that was weird. You're just running with another character with you, and it's like, the fuck?
So I guess for me, like, first and foremost, I get like zero expectations going into this, so there was some pleasant surprises. It is a clean looking game, like you guys have brought up. It did have some like nostalgia to it because it did kind of have some of that Dreamcast feel to it. The game and level design in that regard was like fine. I wasn't really like one way or the other with it. I think the character creation is really bad. I didn't like. It took me so long to pick a character, mostly because I had to go, which one do I think looks like the least stupid, and that was almost impossible for me. So I had a really hard time with that aspect of it. And then the gameplay is just not very like.
Here's a good word: engaging.
Yeah, engaging. It's a good way to put that. It's
I'll donate that word.
I wasn't really like having fun. And
Sure.
so I was not inclined to continue playing after a while. Other than that, like seeing the circus of characters that now exist in the Sonic universe, I was also completely lost and don't understand.
I wish when it showed all the characters was like.
I just, I don't know what the fuck they've done to this series.
Oh no, that question should have been asked 10 years ago. This is just the remnants of like.
Well,
Rome.
I've been in the dark for a long
Rome
fucking time.
collapsed a long time ago, and this is just the remnant of it.
So, really, the only thing I have here is that I think the game is like passable, but ultimately forgettable. So
I can't forget it only because it's one of the best Sonic games in the last like 15 years, and it's. I mean, I can't give my final grade yet, but it's not the best thing ever, but it's still better than a lot of the Sonic games that exist, outside of the one that wasn't made by Sega.
yeah,
That one's legit.
it is.
Oh, it's covered. You can't see it. But I got my Sonic back here with his chili dog, and his fucking fingers don't exist because I never finished this painting. This painting originally is supposed to be a hellscape. So I'm gonna have a bunch of, whenever I finish this, a bunch of Sonic's friends dead down below him while he's running. There's gonna be a Sega symbol, the old school one with the multiple lines, chasing him with police lights above it. And he's running with the chili dog, and he's gonna have a gun. I'm gonna put blood on his face a little bit, like he shot somebody and ran. And it's supposed to signify him trying to escape Sega and all the things that he's done and all the dead bodies they're on top of right now. It's a political statement. Art can be grim, Chris.
No, I can't.
You're right.
For sure.
You're
It's a
right.
statement.
I appreciate grim art.
Yeah.
I'm never going to finish that painting, though.
Now you have to because you talked about it.
I've talked about it before, too. A long time ago. Fucking still not painted. If I have to quarantine for a long time, I'll finish it. I want to start another one. Anyway, what were we talking about?
I was attempting to have thoughts about the game, but I barely played it because it just wasn't very fun for me. So
Sure. I mean, that's a valid... I mean, someone can go, well, your opinion don't matter because you barely played it. But this is your opinion. You didn't play very much because it didn't do anything for you. So that's
Yeah.
the whole point of the fucking show. And this
Yeah, it was
month, you're just like,
it was a struggle. So
as long as you gave it a go, it's all that matters.
and I did when I said like earlier when you saying like I usually wait till the end of the month. This was at the beginning of the month. I was like, I'm gonna hop on and play these. It really threw a wrench in those plans after I played it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Makes sense. Anything else?
no.
Let's jump into recommendations. If you like platformers, I would recommend this to you. I don't think it's the best thing in the world, but I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I'd actually go, you might like that. Especially if you like platformers and the idea of making your own character and dressing them up, playing dress up with them. I would definitely go, well, Sonic Forces is literally that game. The controls are a little janky, but I think you could probably enjoy it. In fact, I know people in the community who actually beat this game. So they must have played it enough to like it enough, like I guess. So, I mean, I probably could keep playing it. I did uninstall it, but I, if somebody's like, here, play this for me real quick while I go live my life, be like, okay, yeah, I can play this. So yeah, if you like platformers, specifically customization in platformers, definitely play it. If you're a diehard Sonic fan, you play all the Sonic games, you probably already played this, but I would definitely say check it out. It's one of the better ones. It's not amazing, but it's neat how it kind of marries old and new Sonic. They tried, they didn't nail it, but it's something. Let's see what else. I don't know.
I feel like it's a pretty accessible game, so I think that
Kids might dig it.
all ages can definitely play the game.
Your grandma might love it.
Yeah, the controls aren't super complicated. You do get to make your own character, which to an extent could be, a perk for some. I obviously had an opposite opinion, but I think, and maybe Chris can give me his opinion of being an ex-nanny here. I feel like
Ex-nanny.
I think kids would appreciate being able to like pick their animal and then dress them up and stuff. So
Absolutely. I think this definitely kids would love this game.
yeah,
Yeah, I think they're not going to overthink it.
for sure.
Just gonna go, yay, running forward, hitting things.
And if you like modern day Sonic, because I'm sure someone does, you've played it. But if you haven't, for some
Modern, like 1999 Sonic.
Like with a scarf, broed out.
It's true. Because they did remake Sonic recently, the modern one, and they were all these weird huge chest dudes with little legs and shit. They got rid of that real quick because we're like, what the fuck is that? If you want to appreciate the Sonic movie even more, play this. Because you're gonna go through that storyline and be like, you know what? That movie's story wasn't that bad.
100%.
It was fine. Like
100%.
it's not fucking amazing, but like it's a pretty straightforward storyline that works. It allows the movie to exist in a fun way.
Also creates a universe.
Creates a universe.
Yeah.
The sequel, there's potential there to make a fucking dope movie. So yeah, if you want to appreciate that movie, maybe you liked it, maybe you didn't like it, but you're gonna play this game and go, they did a pretty good job with the movie. It's fine. It's fine. I reject my original criticisms of it. It's fine. Oh no. Oh yeah. If you're one of those people who partake in the seedy back alleys of the internet when it comes to the Sonic fandom, this game not only is for you, it was made for you. They embrace you with this. They put out their arms, open arms, and they're like, "Come here, buddy. Who loves you? Sega does." So it's for you. Play it. It's also for me as well, because they're like, Chubby Sonic. You remember him? And they're squeak, 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 squeezing little Chubby
Why is he
Sonic.
squeaking?
I assume if you grabbed little chubby baby Sonic from the 90s and you squeeze them, you go squeak, 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 squeak.
I just figured rings would fly out of him.
Yeah, you go,
Your fingers will start bleeding.
you go, ooh, and go, ooh, and fly off the screen. Bop, 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 bop. I wouldn't, yeah, that's the noise you should make. It was, bop, bop.
Whoop, whoop.
I wanted a tattoo of that for the longest time of him going, But then I was like, I don't like Sonic anymore. I used to love
There's
Sonic
an
so
emoji of
much.
that in the Discord.
You can still
Yeah.
appreciate old Sonic, though. He hasn't changed. In fact, he's forever.
He's in this. He's changed.
He,
He's interacting with a bad group of people, and I don't condone it. Recommendations, Chris?
I think you guys covered it.
Yeah. You like radical tunes made by people you don't know. Check out my my music link down below. Sleep Division on SoundCloud.
you turned me off plugging yourself.
Well, I was gonna say to the game, I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'd rather plug myself than fucking recommend that music. And I don't plug myself with
Ever.
anything. Yeah, so I'm really weird about that. Hence why this channel doesn't even have 2,000 subs yet. It's happening. It's coming. Thank you for everyone who subbed. Let's grade this fucker. Chevy.
C-.
I'm also going with the C-. Fastest grading ever. Chris is like, whoa, what happened? Slow it down.
I'm just gonna reiterate everything I said.
Don't we
so-
talk on this show? Why are we just saying things?
I feel like I have to give it its due credit. It is a playable game.
So you're gonna give it a D?
It does offer what I think a lot of people wanted. As far as like when you play Sonic Adventures, it's kind of like the next step in that. Just it could have been pulled off a little better.
No, not the next step. Different. It's a different avenue. But it's some.
Is it though? Is it though? Because I mean, in
I might be
Sonic
looking in
Adventures,
rose.
You had like
I might be looking with nostalgic fucking eyes.
you did
I don't
have
know.
five different characters who all played in this weird janky ways, and
I don't remember
it's just
feeling
kinda-
that shitty. This
Go
feels
back and
like
play it
it's
again.
barely.
you got my Dreamcast there. Should be.
I
There.
got my
Sonic should be
Dreamcast
there.
here. I've played
back
these
and play-
fucking games.
Go back and play it again.
I will.
It's jankier than you remember.
At least those came out in 1999.
Right.
It's been a grip.
This didn't.
I'm gonna give it a very high C plus. I wanted to give it a B minus
Damn.
because it's entertaining for what it is. And it's a playable game. The content is there for what it is, but C plus. It's just the janky controls really bother me.
Yeah. So yeah, my C minus. I was gonna give it a C because I think it's a completely competent game. In fact, I wanted to give it a C plus because I like a lot of the features and I think they had some really good ideas. But I don't like playing the game, and that's kind of the strongest factor of any video game for me. Is like if the gameplay's fine, that's fine. If it's awesome, it's gonna boost that. But if I don't like playing the game, I don't care how good. So like the Order 1886, I think when it came out, still looks fantastic. Great fucking storyline. Everything about that game is awesome, except for the gameplay is like playing a first person shooter on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Which was never a great experience. On the original PlayStation, no analogs. You're playing with the fucking D-pad and like strafing with the fucking shoulder buttons and shit. I mean, like the controls weren't like that, but like it was such a minimal experience. You literally just walk in a room, you shoot shit, and then you walk to the next room, and then you wait for the cutscenes. That you're like, this is really fucking cool. So if they make a sequel, because they need to make a sequel to that game, make it more fun. But anyway, that docked that game so much for me because the gameplay was just like, I was like, I don't enjoy playing this. Just make a movie. I would have watched that. It's a cool fucking world they created. Same thing with this. Like, I'm like, oh, this is all really neat. And then I go to play it. I'm like, eh. It's like mobile games for me. Every mobile game I fucking play on my phone, I'm like, oh, a tactical game. Oh, that's cool. I love tactical games. Oh, whatever the fuck game, all these games on mobile. And then I like open up the game and then there's like fucking 50 menus and they're like, here's the 1,000 resources that will give a little bit to you every single day for logging in. And you can use it for this, 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 and this. But then you can also give us $5 here to get more of those resources. And then make sure to do this timed thing here. And it's like spending like an hour telling you what all these fucking buttons on the menu do. And I'm like, this isn't fun. This is just a fucking UI. This is a menu that plays itself. Someone developed a whole fucking game that plays itself. And I was like, well, you can play on your own. Why would I? It's inefficient. The game is going to fucking play itself better than I'm going to play it. Anyway.
Don't play War of the Lions.
What?
It doesn't play better than a person.
Don't play War of the Lions. You wouldn't like it.
War of the Lions?
Like having all those menus and stuff and hour long.
War of the Visions?
That's it. War of the Visions.
Yeah.
Playing that since day one. I don't enjoy it at all because the game fucking wants to play itself and it has 1,000 menus. I started liking it. I was like, oh, the graphics are actually pretty decent on this. And I played it. I was like, oh, this is cool. I can play this. And then after it lets you play the game, it goes, menu. There's all your daily shit and all the things. I'm like, here it is. Here's the mobile shit. Fuck. And then it's like, here's some temporary characters. But you can also unlock other characters. And it's like, also try the autoplay button. And I'm like, fuck. And I click the autoplay button. I'm like, why would I play it then? The game's going to do it faster than me. I'm only a mere mortal who has to think about, where should I go and what should I do? But then you press that auto button. The game's like, let me do it for you. Done.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't agree with that. That auto button's good for farming, and that's it.
Yeah.
Sure.
You want to get all the rewards in a mission, you should play yourself. So, because they won't do elemental chains. The NPCs are too dumb. So,
I don't know. I'd have to play more. But I guarantee time flow, if you just let it do it over and over and over again for hours while you're not there or whatever, it doesn't matter if you're not grabbing those things. It's all going to make it up in the fucking end anyway.
I don't know. I haven't played enough to know the game's resources, but it's made by.
I don't think anyone here is educated on this yet because the game just came out. So.
But their prior two games weren't like that. So
we'll see. I'm not as open to this kind of shit. Anyway, we're not talking about mobile games. What are we talking about?
We're switching games. We just did great.
C+, C-, C-. Let us know in the comments. What did you guys think of Sonic Forces? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What did you like about it if you did like it? Or you're like, well, I like this part, but this part. What did you think about making your own character? What did you think about the customization options? What do you think about the gameplay? Did you think it was fine? And yeah, what would you grade it? Let us know in the comments below. The other game we played in March was Shadow of the Colossus Remastered, which is a remastered version of the timeless classic Shadow of the Colossus that came out on the PS2. This game is not even a PS3 game. It's a fucking PS2 game. And it's remastered. And yeah, in it, you play as a dude who's trying to accomplish something by finding giant people and fucking killing them. That's there's a lot to the story, but that's pretty much the gameplay loop. Is you ride around on a horse, you find these big old dudes. They got pretty much like puzzles to them. You got to figure out the platforming aspect and where to fucking stab them, and then you drop these fools. Yeah, so we all played it this month. Who started last time? I did on accident.
Yeah.
So we'll start with Chris.
Oh no, not me. Don't start with me.
Oh no.
This is my first time playing this game. Graphically, it is gorgeous. It's a gorgeous game. It is massive. There is a huge world with nothing in it. It's just kind of empty. It's just there. Full disclosure, I didn't beat the game. I think I'm halfway through it. I've killed like 8 of these guys.
You can do it pretty quickly. I think
There's-
the game's like 15 hours long or some shit.
It's not even that long.
I think I was looking it up just to see how long it would take me, and if you speed run it, it can take like 2-3 hours to beat the whole game.
Yeah, I believe it. I fucking cruised through the first like 2-3 dudes really fast.
There's no real like super heavy narration story wise. It's just kind of figure out as you go and kind of make assumptions about things. It feels like there's no menus, there's no upgrades,
Ooh, I like that.
there's
No
no
menus.
combos, there's no
autoplay.
appearances. It's literally an interactive story. And it's not a bad thing, but I was hearing a lot of hype about this game in the past and never actually experienced it.
Is this your first time playing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was expecting more. I've heard it was people are like, oh, it's kind of like Zelda and like the Grand Adventure thing. You're fighting these big monsters, but like, I know this game has a lot of fan base and it's a really big fan base and a lot of hype behind it, but it really felt like a tech demo to me. Just the vast emptiness, and I'm sure there's a story behind why there's nothing other than these colossi that roam the earth and you.
Limitations
and
of the
It's
PS2.
a PS2 game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It felt tech demo-y to me.
Yeah.
It was, in that though, it's really neat, and it's due credit for what it was doing at the time of these massive monsters that you basically are crawling all over,
Yeah.
just like a bug. And it's a really cool concept. It's really intriguing that way. But beyond that, I just found myself just kind of drifting off of like letting them talk, kind of keeping up with like what's happening, but it's just kind of the same repeated narration over and over again, and you have to get visual clues as to what's going on. And just the vast emptiness of it, which is very like, okay, here we go again, all the way across the map just to do this thing, and then all the way across the map again just to fight this one thing. And the fights were unique in like the intro of like, oh, this character has this gimmick about them, but after that it was just very like monotonous of the same thing over and over again. Like, climb up, stabby stabby, climb up, stabby stabby. I get it, it's over and over and again. I didn't have a bad time, but I didn't have like this mind-blowing adventure either.
This is one of those games that would have been more impactful during the time it came out versus now. So if you would have played this when it first came out, you probably would have a different opinion on this game than you do now, just because your expectations and standards of what games can do and accomplish in gameplay is going to be so much higher now to go back and retroactively play this game, in my opinion. But you agree with me.
I do.
But I don't disagree with you at all. But it is interesting. Shadow of the Colossus is... There's a couple games like this that they come out and you don't hear much about them. And then for years, people kind of forget about them. And then like some people start talking about that they loved it. And then you start seeing this like growth in community, almost like this retroactive love for a game. Because I remember when Shadow of the Colossus came out. I remember when Ico came out. Nobody gave a fuck about it. And then Shadow of the Colossus came out. I knew like 2 people who liked it. And like for years, like people barely ever talked about it. And then like out of nowhere, this like... And maybe they're all just quiet about it or whatever, but like all of a sudden a bunch of people are just like, this game's amazing. It's a master craft work of art, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not saying they're wrong, but it's just interesting. There's sometimes games that I feel like there are a lot of people who liked it already, but I feel like a lot of people get in on that hype as well. They hear other people go like, it's fucking amazing. And they're like, you know what? That game is amazing. And there's like this like fervor almost over it, because I do think Shadow of the Colossus is like a good game. And the times I've played, I'll go into my review of this month in a sec. But like, it was just interesting to watch a community form for it when there wasn't originally. But I don't know. That might be due to the growth in internet and its communities and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, you're talking about, you know, like the fan base or whatever. They're super into it. If you talk to anyone who says they love this game, they're gonna really talk it up a lot. And so, and that's whatever. I'm not rejecting their opinion on that, but it could do a disservice to somebody who's never played it and might go back and play it in modern time after hearing all that hype.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I could sit here and hype Metal Gear Solid all day, and I still think it's way ahead of its time. It's amazing. It's fucking a great game. But someone nowadays going back and playing the first Metal Gear Solid for the first time now, I feel like they still see some appreciation, but they're probably not going to look at it the same way I do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just
That nostalgia
interesting.
view.
It's interesting that game is now old enough for somebody to come into it now and go, yeah, it's cool, but like, what? Why is everyone so fucking stoked about it? So,
Yeah. I don't know. There's things about it that I would like to be different, but I get it's a story and it's trying to tell a story. Like, I just felt like, why am I doing this? Why do I feel bad about what I'm doing? I don't want to do it, but I feel like if I don't, there's nothing else to do, and that's like the whole point of the game, I guess. Is like you have to do this for the story plot, and there's nothing else to it.
yeah. Yeah.
You got this sword from somewhere. I don't know where, but you got it.
Wait, someone on the internet's going to comment, this is where you got it. Blah, 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 blah.
I'm sure there's some
is-
sort of deep background lore, and like I said, it kind of has that like figure out the backstory on your own type thing and kind of piece together puzzles, but like it's just so void of everything to me. It's just
Yeah.
was empty.
The people who made this, made Ico, made Last Guardian. I still haven't played that. I really would like to. I appreciated Ico when I first played it. I apologize if it's pronounced differently. Let me know in the comments. I've always called it Ico. And I've always appreciated what these guys do with their games because they're making very artsy fartsy games. They're making these experiences. Obviously, there's gameplay there, but that doesn't feel like it's the core of what they're trying to accomplish. It's more so that they're trying to create some kind of atmosphere, environment, spectacle, experience that you can leave and go, wow, I've never experienced that before. And I think they did that really fucking well. Ico was interesting because you're constantly escorting somebody and doing like basic platforming and like fighting enemies or whatever. It kind of felt like Zelda a bit, but not quite. But the atmosphere and the adventure of that was where it really shined. Otherwise, it'd just be like a lot of games like it before. But there's this atmosphere to it that like was so fucking interesting, so intriguing. And then Shadow of the Colossus is, I think, in my opinion, for when it came out, a pretty fucking original game in the sense of what they're trying to do.
Absolutely.
But when I was playing it this month, I did first off think the graphics were fucking really good. I was so surprised by how good they made this game look. It's a PS2 game. It looks fantastic on PS4. I was like, holy shit, this is a remaster. A PS2 game should not look this good. But then when I was playing it, I was like, oh yeah, it's been a while since I played a PS2 game. They played different back then. Everything's just a little more stiff. There's less features. There's less streamlining in like the way you move over terrain, climb things. Not necessarily a complaint, but just an observation. But yeah, the gameplay almost comes. The idea is more what it's all about. It's about this idea of going through these vacant, desolate lands to the soundtrack that's incredible, and then finding. It's the mystery of finding the fucking Colossus, and then or Colossi, or whatever the fuck they call him in this. Finding it, seeing the spectacle of it, being in awe, going holy shit, and knowing my little ass is about to fucking take that thing down. And riding in on your horse and fucking climbing that bitch. And it's this whole experience and this whole puzzle and adventure of like taking that thing down and then finally dropping it and feeling like you conquered the mountain literally because you had to climb the fucker. And I can appreciate that. That's my favorite thing about the games these guys make, and that's the reason why I should play Last Guardian. But I agree with you in gameplay, and I did play this when it came out back in the day. I wasn't one of the people who was like, this game's amazing, but I always appreciate it. I mean, like, I'm an artsy fartsy dork. I love artsy fartsy things. And this game, the atmosphere, the music, everything is just beautifully done. It's awesome. I still think it just looks incredible. I think the experience is awesome. But I'm not a big puzzle guy. Anyone who watches the channel knows that. Anyone who doesn't, I'm not a big puzzle guy. And this game, even though it's more of a platformer climbing game, I guess you could say stabbing is action. I would definitely call it a puzzle game, though, because you're looking at the enemy and you're assessing, how do I get to the points of it that can take it down? How do I get it to stop? How do I find the access point to start climbing it? These are all puzzle mechanics. And I'm not saying I dislike it. I think the adventure of it's really interesting and fun, but it's not my speed. So it's never been a game that I've always looked back on and went, "Whoo, I love Shadow of the Colossus. It's a masterpiece." But when people say that, I wouldn't even argue against it. I'd just be like, I get it. I get why you'd love it a lot. Just never has been something that I'm like, holy shit. But I really appreciate it. So I kind of just jumped into my impressions a bit on this. So if you have more to say.
That's fine. No, that's
Okay.
fine. It's kind of a discussion.
Yeah, for sure. But returning to it, like I said, the graphics are just fantastic. And I really did enjoy playing it again. But because I have played it and beaten it before, I didn't continue doing that. What with the other like 9 games I picked up this month, a lot of new games. This is the beginning. There's a time this year where I was like, oh no, it's the fucking apocalypse for my wallet. And now I'm like, oh no, things are just kind of shitty in general in the world right now. But fucking, there's a lot of things going on. I got that going on. I got fucking the games I bought recently. So I just did not continue playing this game as much as I would have liked to. But it was really cool to return and play it. But yeah, the gameplay for me is just not. It's not pulling me back when I stop playing it. I'll play it and I appreciate it. I'm like, holy fuck, this game is ahead of its time. Really cool ideas, really big ideas. Still translates pretty well to nowadays, but I'd rather go play something that like, fuck, I got to get the next level. I got to get my gear. I got to get this progression going. I'm wasting time not doing that or whatever. And that might be, a fault of my own that I need some kind of incentive like that. But I do. I like playing games that I'm getting things back. And since I've already experienced this, I didn't play as much as I probably should have. But it was a really cool experience playing it again. I really liked going through it. I really liked playing it. I mean, look up a video on YouTube of the game side by side. It's insane. They don't look like the same game. And so I really appreciate that. But I also appreciated just coming back to it and experiencing it in a really modern way, as stiff as the controls feel now. Although the horse animations are still fantastic. I remember like they were talking about back then. They're like, "It's the best looking horse in any game ever." I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty good looking." And now I'm looking at it now. I'm like, "There's horses that look way worse than this nowadays in modern games."
Oh yeah,
Dynasty Warriors, a lot of games, but Dynasty Warriors, those horses are fucking machines. There's like, and you're just like, it's Dynasty Warriors.
yeah. So the game gets past for being fun.
Yep, it's one of those games. It's one of those fun games where I can just look past small things like that. Yeah. All in all, though, the game is a great experience. I didn't beat it, but I really enjoyed it, and made me want to play Last Guardian.
Yeah. I'm going to re-emphasize some parts just because I share those opinions. But like first and foremost, to remind you, if we didn't hear the 700 times we've said this already, it's a PS2 game that is beautifully remastered. It's very impressive looking. I was very surprised. Like even like knowing, because you told me it was really good looking, and turning it on, I was like, holy crap, this is good looking.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I forgot. I started the game up. It's got that intro sequence. I was looking. I was like, "Is this a PS2 game?" I like looked up. I'm like, holy shit, okay.
And you can tell in the aspects of the empty environments and the controls being, I don't know if I want to say clunky, but they're definitely
that's why I said stiff.
Stiff and with the platforming elements, sticky would be a good way to put that, I guess.
It's a sticky game, dog. It's very sticky.
It's
messy.
It's not enough to be a deterrent, but it's noticeable when you play for sure. The horse looks great. You brought that up already. I was gonna make sure to make a point of the
spent a lot of time doing this, and that horse looks great the whole time.
Well, the big thing I noticed right off the bat when you get the opening intro, and then even just like walking in with the girl and you setting her down, and you throw the I'm gonna say blanket, but the cloth essentially, and it actually like folds like cloth would on the ground. I was like, PS2, like this. Is
Yeah,
some-
they
Well,
put some
have no
work into
enemies
that
to
game.
render. We got all the extra space to render good graphics for horses and blankets.
it's insane. Like that shouldn't have existed then. So
Fucking shade of the Colossus over here.
and you see that again with the Colossus or the Colossi, whatever you want to use, with the free moving moss or hair or whatever it is on them.
Yeah.
Once again, for how old the game is, I'm just like really kind of blown away by like a lot of things that were so ahead of its time.
It's a
in
testament
that
to
game.
the dedication that they put into that game.
It's crazy. It reminds me of when Last Guardian was originally coming out and seeing all the feathers on what was his name? Trico, I think his name is.
I don't know. I'm afraid to play that game because I feel like something bad's gonna happen to that thing. I'm gonna cry and I don't want to.
But I just remember looking at that and going, "Holy crap!" And then like Bloodborne with all the crazy wavy effects too. So
Yep.
it kind of fits into those categories of like just like visually impressive for the platform it's on.
I get fucking impressed by PS3 games on PS4 sometimes. I'm like, this looks great.
Yeah.
And then I see like a PlayStation 2 game. I'm like, how the fuck they do that?
Yeah, and I
They
have
just
like
remade the game or what?
Dark Cloud 1 and 2 on my PS4, and they don't look like that.
No, fuck no, they don't.
So and
You look at any like Rockstar game from the PS2 era, and everyone's just like these little stiff, chubby dudes. And then like on modern consoles, they smooth them out, so there's still little
Right.
chubby, stout dudes, but fucking there's like circular. You're like, oh, they look smooth. That's nice.
it's just I don't know. It's it was very pleasant. I wish every game that got remastered got the kind of treatment that this game did.
Sure.
So, and then the other thing I really appreciate too is the designs of the Colossus or Colossi are
Super imaginative.
super imaginative.
Yeah.
I am a huge fan of it in that regard. I like pretty much everything about this game. Start playing it.
The fantasy's so like it almost reminds me of like Miyazaki or something. Like it's
Beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I like
Sure.
I love the art and creativity there.
I think it's really the big divide. I think anyone's gonna appreciate this game, but I think it's just if you can get down with the gameplay or not.
Which comes down to I'm not a fan of platformers or puzzle games.
You'll play a puzzle game for a platformer any day.
Yeah, and this is both.
Yeah.
So
I would say any game, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a fucking platformer. If you got to jump, Show's like, I don't like platforming.
I play the shit out of Final Fantasy 14, and there's platforming stuff in that game every once in a while. I'm like, God damn it, I don't want to do this.
Play a co-op FPS with you, and we got to jump over like a fucking ravine real fast. You're like, I don't like platforming.
I don't want to do this.
Like, you just got to jump over here. You're like, I don't like platforming.
Put me on a rail.
Someone put a rope around my waist and just pull me over there.
Please.
I don't want to jump. Don't make me press the button.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, not a huge fan of
He gets lost easy too.
This is true.
We'll take a right. He's like, where are we? I'm like, we were just over there. Where is everybody? I'm right here.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It kind of sucks that I can be like so impressed and so like enamored with the game, and then I play it and I'm just kind of like, well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So
I think, like I said, I think it's really the big divide. Like, if you get down with the gameplay on this game, like you really dig it, it's probably a masterpiece to you.
yeah.
Because everything else about it's just fantastic. But for me, like playing it, I like the gameplay. I don't love it though, but I like it. But I love everything else about it.
Yeah.
I mean, the world is vacant, but kind of adds to the atmosphere, just like Ico. Really creepy. It's just fucking you and these shadow people after you, and then which this is a prequel to that. Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
but, you know,
Overall, there's a lot of positive feeling towards it. I can't play it. So
just comes down to what kind of freak are you? What are you into?
seems to be a theme this month for me with the not necessarily having fun with the games. So
I didn't have fun. I don't have fun. Yeah. So let's jump into recommendations then. Unless you guys have anything else to say on this shit. By shit, I mean it's a thing, not that it is shit. But recommendations. So yeah, if you like anything these guys have made, You probably played this. You probably love this game. If you played Ico, you played Last Guardian, and you're like, wait, there's another game they made? Yeah, they made this, and it's like their most famous game for sure.
That person doesn't exist. It's for you though.
Yeah, for sure. That person, there's not a person on the planet like that. The people who played Last Guardian all played this. I would love for them to make a third game in this world. Last Guardian, I guess, is not connected to those two games, but which is cool. Stretch out, fucking try new things. But I love that
development hell forever.
I love that Shadow of the Colossus is a prequel to Ico. It's neat. Yeah, so you played those. If you like action puzzle platformer games in the same vein as like Zeldas and stuff like that, Darksiders, games where you run around, you fight stuff, you got to figure stuff out. You like that whole experience of like, that change up of the action, the platforming, all that kind of stuff. Very Nintendo-esque, although visually not so much. It's, I think, a must play. If you like games where you have to fight big things, I know it's kind of vague, but Monster Hunter, you go and fight bosses essentially. This isn't Monster Hunter, but it is in the same vein of if you like the idea of like big drawn out battles where you conquer something. Dark Souls. If you just like that idea, you like the idea of conquering the boss, finding them, and then taking them down. This is a must play in my opinion.
They're much easier.
For sure. Way easier. The game's not difficult. That's why I said this game's an experience.
Yeah, for sure.
That's all it is, and it's a great experience. But I never played it. One. This is rough. I'm just like, whoa, this is fucking. The whole time you're just like, whoa, this is fucking wild.
I think you can appreciate this game in the same way you would appreciate a game like Journey.
Sure. So. Yeah, I was gonna say if you're into art house games, Stranger Danger. If you're into art house games, you'll definitely appreciate this game. It's one of the games that kind of set the standard of what those games should be like before Journey. And I had one other thing. I can't remember. If you like horse physics in games, you'll appreciate this.
That would be weird, except for we talked to someone who apparently very much appreciates that stuff. So.
100%. He's like, the horse's right leg doesn't move like that in real life. I'm like, oh,
you're a person.
No, that conversation's been happening ever since horses got introduced into games, man. I remember fucking like gaming publications used to talk about that before they started bitching about gamers existing. But like they used to go like, this is the best horse physics we've ever seen in a game. Like that was a thing. Like with a car, you just make the car shape. Maybe you'll add suspension when it makes it look real interesting. But for the most part, it's gonna go left and right. It's gonna go off jumps and shit. But like a horse, you gotta like render the muscle movement, and like that's a pretty complicated thing. I mean, I would just assume nowadays you strap that horse up with mocapping shit, but like they didn't do that on this.
No,
and it
definitely
looks
not.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah. Stop hating gamers. IGN. GameStop. Spot. Both.
Well, one only hates you because you're buying your game somewhere else.
Polygon. Kotaku.
Yeah,
Recommendations?
I think you pretty much nailed it. I definitely think you do need to be older to play this game, though. I think it'd be frustrating for younger audiences.
Think so?
I think so.
I think you're down. Really? I think you're downplaying because we're all kids when we play like Zelda and shit. Everyone loved that shit.
Zelda didn't climb furry giants.
Sure, but
stamina mechanic would be difficult for younger kids to grasp.
I think you're downplaying. When I was a kid, I'd fucking have no issue with that at all. And kids nowadays are way better games than we were.
Sure. I just don't think there's enough going on in the game.
Yeah, possibly. Listen in the comments. What do you think on that?
Yeah. I can't really think of anyone else. You pretty much nailed it with the...
Maybe tonally, it's like a mature, like it's got a patina to it. Like you got to really taste the earth in the wine to like enjoy this game. But like, I think gameplay wise, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I don't necessarily mean it that way as much as like... Yeah, there's just not a whole lot going on. So like, it's not going to hold any attention.
Yeah, I feel the same way with the Lego games though, and those are for kids. Well, they're for everybody.
Yeah, except for everything's exploding and you're picking up a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So there's something going on there. Your horse is not exploding into little currencies that you can pick up and then respawning, so you can do it over and over again. I don't know. I like I don't have kids, so I'm not the best person for
Oh
that.
god, those damn things.
So yeah, I don't know. Any thoughts there, Chris? Because I really can't think of any recommendations.
If you like looking at very large landscapes,
There's people out there that might. Photographers, maybe.
I mean, it's got a screenshot mode, and it gives you the option to turn it on in the very beginning of the game.
Oh yeah, it does.
So
That's a
it's
game
really-
that needs one. There you get some
Yeah.
really interesting pictures in that.
Because the landscape is great. It's vast. It's empty. It's landscape. It's like looking at old ass oil paintings all day.
Yeah. If you're a person in real life who likes to go out in the woods and track people or animals, this game might be for you.
Why'd you start with people?
I'm just covering the base
Are you
because
track-
someone might be doing that. I'm not. You shouldn't be doing that. Stop. But
It would
fucking.
have made more sense if you're like track animals, maybe people. At least then it sounds like a joke.
Because I was thinking like a fucking. I was thinking of like how
Search and rescue.
how like Aragorn can track people. He's a ranger.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're like that,
Not what I heard.
you're gonna play this game and go, God, I wish I had a sword that just tracks shit for me. Then I wouldn't have to be spend so much time in the fucking bushes tasting berries and things.
Why are you doing these things?
Tasting berries doesn't help you track people.
Tell me
You're creating a wild person.
that person's out there. I didn't create them. I got nothing to do with that fucking guy. I just acknowledge they exist. I guarantee there's one person on this fucking. There's 7.8 billion people on this planet. One guy's doing this. For the wrong reasons. Stop. Go home. Quarantine. Now's the time to stop hunting people or animals or wherever the fuck you
There's
hunt.
no one to hunt right now.
They're easy to hunt now. You just go home. Just go to someone's. Anyway, let's. Any more recommendations?
No.
People are like, you know what? I really like this show, but I'm gonna tune out now. This got weird. I don't do this. I'm just saying, there's people out there doing this. Let's grade it. Who graded first last time?
I did.
Yeah, because we just like fucking shotgun the C's out, C minuses. I'm gonna give this a B plus. I think the game is just fucking quality in every way. I think it's well deserving of its praise. And if I was way more into the gameplay, I'd probably give it a fucking A. I think it's a fantastic game, and I think this remaster really does it justice. We're talking about this remaster, not the initial game. And this remaster, I think, is a really good remaster. It gives it all the respect this game fucking deserves. This is a dated game. It's been out for a while, and it is respectfully older in its design. I respect it 100%. I'm not saying, wow, God, it's just an old game. I'm not playing E.T. on Atari here, but fucking
No one should be.
yeah, that shit got buried for a reason. Don't go hunt that down and dig it up. Taste them berries. The rocks in the desert. Yeah, B plus. I feel like I should give it higher, but that's just what I feel comfortable with right now. So, Chris.
I'm gonna give this a B. Graphically, it's a very beautiful game, and for its time, at the time of its release, it was probably this amazing thing. But it's definitely aged, and not in a poor way. It's definitely a game of a different era. Not in a bad way. It's just I couldn't find myself getting too engaged with it because
Not
the gameplay
Chris's
was
era.
not the best for me.
I'm sure it was Chris's era, the Roaring 50s,
I don't know. Ask him.
30s.
We're almost there.
It's coming, dude. We're on our way. The new 30s.
Yeah.
So B plus, Chevy.
B minus.
God damn, we're gonna whole rainbow of B's.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I appreciate everything about it visually. But like for me, story wasn't necessarily like holding my attention a lot. Gameplay was a struggle for me. But there's a lot of appreciation still there. So I have to give it a B range. It's just for me, not something I necessarily want to play, which is unfortunate. So B minus.
Yeah, it's story. I mean, like if they just had like some scenes where fucking like you're trying to escape the town and then a fucking soldier comes up and you're like, no, don't shoot. And then they fucking shoot you and your daughter. And you're like, no. And then like you get a little bloop, 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 bloop. And then you fucking pull out the Kodak and the guy's like, Snake. You're like, Colonel, you gotta take down the Colossi. Colossi.
But first gather the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah. Collect them fucking emeralds, boy. There's an epic adventure ahead of you. Then maybe we'd be singing a different tune with that story. I'd play that game. I've played those games.
What is going on in this episode?
Um,
Says caffeinated, apparently.
I've been drinking tea, dude.
Wow.
This tea's got me wild. B plus, B, and B minus.
Yeah.
So I think those are all pretty good. I think they're all respectable. I feel like anybody who's a huge fan of this is probably less inclined to be super pissed off at us right now and potentially hunt us down. So yeah, let us know in the comments what you guys think of Shadow of Colossus. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Was this a game that you think is overhyped? Do you think this game is well deserved of its masterpiece status amongst its fans? What would you grade it? What do you enjoy about this game? What do you think about the design? Have you played the other games these guys have made? Did you play Last Guardian? Should I play it? Or you're like, you know what? They took 20 years to make it. It wasn't that great. It could have been better. Let us know everything you're thinking about in the comments below. That's going to do it for this episode of Plus Club on Tasty Loot Gaming. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, and TikTok, Facebook, Tasty Loot Gaming.
You can just Google Tasty Loot Gaming. We're everywhere.
We own Google now, which is great. Like, you can type in Tasty Loot Gaming, you're going to find us, which is awesome. Because a long time ago, you type that in and it'd be like, here's a chef. I'm like, what's he got to do with fucking loot or gaming? He made something tasty, debatable. We have a Discord link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. We're on iTunes, Spotify, other podcast platforms if you prefer to listen to us. And you can type in hashtag AskTLG if you want to be on the show, possibly, as long as you got a cool comment that's not crazy. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
We're doing Game of the Month tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. We're going to talk about Wolson. Make sure to play that or think about it and come back. And, I don't want them to show up and be like, the fuck's Wolson? I'm not listening to this, and leave. Come in prepared. Be like, I know what you're talking about. Let's see if they liked it. Yeah, till the next episode. Have a good night, guys, and take it easy.